on that.
Word. Wait for some more people to join, but what's going on? How y'all been? Seemed like it's been a while.
I know, right? The
It's
Monday.
good. Yeah, since Monday. Yeah. This
I
Good Friday.
thought set my mug.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we out here.
Hey man, we got a guest today. He gonna join in with us throughout this next hour. If any Packers fans out there, y'all put your questions in here, chop it up, talk about the season, talk about his Penn State days, him being for B-More, and just a lot of other things that's going around the league, man. Get his perspective on some things as he settles into to his off season, man. But y'all welcome Adrian Smash Amos. What it do?
What's up? Thank you for having me on, man.
Of course, man. I appreciate you
joining us, man.
Appreciate you joining the show. Man, so let's jump into it, man. Now, obviously, man, it's been a lot of talk just on D. Watson, Deshaun Watson, man. Hell of a player. Have you been able to play against him?
Yeah, I played against him. We played against him this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely a baller. You know what I'm saying? I liked him out of college. I thought he was, a step beyond. At that point, I thought he was a step beyond everybody he was coming out with. Just like his performances against Bama, you can just, look at that. And then, he's been showing it every year in the league.
Were you on Chicago when y'all drafted Mitch?
Yeah, I was.
Oh man, what was the feeling like with that? Because I'd have been in locker rooms where we make some questionable draft picks. Oh, know about that. Like, what was that feeling like?
I mean,
nobody knew who Mahomes was.
Yeah, it's been a long, it was a long road in Chicago. So I got to Chicago in 2015. That's when Cutler was there. So we had Cutler. Then it was just like a whole bunch of other quarterbacks. So we had Matt Barkley, Brian Hoyer.
Y'all had Mike Glennon too out there. Mike Glennon, right?
Yeah, that was the same year. So we signed Mike Glennon in the offseason before we drafted Mitch Trubisky. So it was a pick that surprised a lot of people, especially with like the other quarterbacks on the board. But when Mitch first got there, it didn't seem like you could see reasons why people thought he was going to pan out to be a great quarterback, just because when you sit him in there and play him in 7-on-7, he's fast. He can when he's just sitting there, he can make every throw. He was the type when he came in, he could hit the barrels and stuff like that too. So you could see natural talent that would impress NFL scouts and stuff like that. So when he came in, he actually gave us a spark midway through the season when Mike Glennon got benched after throwing I think we played Tampa and he threw like 5 innings. It was like 5 turnovers in the first half or something like that. And then Mitch came in and he did pretty well. His first couple games in there. So
man, what we talking about D. Watson, man. So as a player in the league, a vet in the game now, and you see, in his contract he has a no trade clause, right? So you can't trade me unless I agree to it, right? Like, how do you see the league moving where more guys and more players are kind of having that say so as far as like their trajectory in their career?
I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's it's been going on in the in the NBA where they have power over what they can do. Basically, they're learning. It's always going to be easier in the NBA because there's less people, and one player can change a whole franchise. Basically in basketball. So it's always going. They always going to have a little bit more leverage than NFL guys do. But I love seeing it. Whereas the player has some power in the NFL, they can't just choose to do whatever they want with you. Because you can see a guy like Watson. They mad at Watson for taking control of what he want to do, but is everybody had that same energy with Dallas with Prescott and stuff like that when you get situations where You know, as you can see, he was the reason they, had that high power offense. So, it's I love, seeing these, top quarterbacks, top players, taking, control of their own situation.
Yeah, facts. He definitely taking the power, and it's funny that he doing it really because of how the hiring process went. They told him he was gonna have input. He obviously wanted some people to come in there and at least get a look. They didn't even have certain guys, Eric B being one of them, not even on the list to come in for interviews. And he just said, shit, I had enough, man. And then I thought, probably 99.8% that he wouldn't have left until he officially put in that trade request. Now, shit, Nick between the rock and the hard place as the new GM there. So how you see this all panning out? I guess it's for either one of y'all.
Man, shit, when I seen him, man, I was like, man, he out of there. When I seen like the new hire, I'm like, bro, he out of there. Like, man, at the end of the day, man, when you have everything that's been going on, and we talked about it before, you trade my best receiver. And when you got JJ Watt coming up to you, say, man, I'm sorry we wasted a year, and then you get to a point where you like, it's even rumblings about you unhappy. You're not returning any calls. You wanted, and you said in the front office said, look, now you're gonna be in the meetings and you'll be in discussions as far as a new GM. That didn't happen. Eric B, you wanted Eric B as a head coach. Shit, you ain't even have him on the board.
You didn't even have him come in for an interview.
Yeah, man. I know he was out of there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we'll man. See. We'll see. We'll see. So let's talk about your playoffs, man. Obviously, it didn't end how you wanted it to. It only will end how one team wants it to. But how you felt this whole season and this playoff run?
Man, it's hard to say after you lose that, it was a great season. But when you look back on it, I feel like, we had a great year. And I feel like this was a great opportunity. That's why it stings so much after, losing that game, especially after the way we lost it. It's a couple plays where, look back at every time. And, I went back and watched the game yesterday, most of the game. And it's just like, man, one or two plays in that game is totally different. You know what I'm saying? Because, I feel like if we eliminated mistakes we made in that first half, I think the first half really beat us and we dug ourselves in the hole and just didn't make enough, plays in the fourth, all around as a team to dig us out of that. So, but we had a great season. We got, had an MVP quarterback, and then the second half of the season, that's when the defense really picked up, and we started.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that.
We really started holding our own, playing a more aggressive style defense, and we was really getting after people. So I say that's a plus building forward. If you take plus out of the season, moving forward, I feel like with a lot of people coming back on defense, I know defense especially. One or two pieces, and I feel like we can take that next step on our side of the ball.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all definitely flip that switch and start playing much better down the stretch. Love what y'all doing in the back end. Obviously, Alexander with young boy Savage. King had a rough one out there, but what was it? I guess that second half of the season for the defense that really changed.
I feel like we had more aggressive play calls. We had more aggressive calls. As a secondary, I feel like we have a lot of guys that can cover. I like being up closer. I like to be covering in the box. Being able to do multiple things, and Savage the same way. So we like to be able to switch playing, playing man, playing in the box, playing deep. I feel like early in the year we were more passive. So we was more of a just don't let up the big play type defense. And I think that shifted a little bit, and we just started executing better with one another, communicating and taking ownership over our own defense in the back end and stuff like that, being more aggressive. I'm big on, man. We got to force them, to beat us. Don't, just sit back there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it. So I was always when I played safety, as I got to the different teams, and coaches will ask me like, do I prefer strong or free? So I'm like, look, like a safety is a safety, right? So if I had somebody that I could rock with, hey, like one series you play the left, I play the right. You know what I'm saying? Or one half you play the left, you play the right. Whereas I just feel as though sometimes offenses can kind of get a beat on you, like, okay, well, he's always going to be down in the box, he's always going to be in the post, right? So as you just mentioned, as far as y'all took ownership of y'all secondary. You like to be up on the line, Sav like to be up on the line. Like, how do you feel as though that helps your game? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel as though at times it actually elevated my game, just knowing, like, look, this is what I got to do here, or this is how I got to play the game here.
It helped you with studying, knowing what you can expect. From both sides. All right, this is what they like to run when you're in the boundary. This is what they like to run to the field. You know what I'm saying? Certain things like that. And then, we start to gain a trust in one another, whereas we can do that within the game. All right, we started doing stuff where it's, all right, I'm better at doing this, so I'm going to take this play right here, and I'm gonna go here, and you do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that helped us out, just a lot. When you have players doing what they love to do, or what they best at, that's when you start getting the most out of it. So I think that was big. And me, I'm personally like that too. Like you said, as far as I like to play both. I don't like to be considered a box safety. I don't like to be just, and I sure don't want to just be back there in the post all day.
Boy, that shit get boring, boy.
Yeah, I can't just do that. I mean, it's certain safeties that can do that. Like Earl, that's what he liked doing. Back in the day, watching him, he can be in a post all game and affect the game. I get bored. I get bored and lackadaisical back there. I need to be up covering somebody or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that helped us. That helped us out a lot.
No.
Yeah, for sure. I love watching. Where you think you and Sav rank as far as safety duos in the league? I think y'all slept on. I think y'all slept on, man. Personally, where you think y'all rank?
You can't ask me that. I'm gonna say. All right. I'm putting. I feel as though we had the potential to be number one, just off of neither one of us are just one thing. How you got certain duos in the past that one has to be down and only can play hook, curl, and blitz, and stuff like that, and then the other one has to be back there and play safety. But both of us play both. Both of us have history playing nickel as well.
That's big.
So, what I'm saying? I feel as though we had the potential, but you got to do it over time. We can't just say after 1 year that best in the league, but we have to show that over time.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So you talked about as far as NFC Championship. It was a couple plays here and there where y'all felt as though it got out of hand. One play in particular, right before the half, and if you don't want to speak on it too much, I understand. But a couple seconds left, about to go into the half. I would think, as my man D Butt say, GTFB, get the fuck back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the mindset as far as playing whatever coverage y'all was in? It looked like it was man or whatever the case may be. Like, what was the mindset? And coming from somebody who's played, like, do you feel you could have been like, look, you know what? We're not gonna run this play. We're gonna call something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First up, man, that's something that can't happen. That's like the last thing that can happen. You got, 5-6 seconds left, end of the game. They don't have no more timeouts. That's just a situation you gotta protect. Maybe they can get a quick out, what I'm saying, and then get something like that. But that ain't about to beat you if they, if they get that. So we have to be either be in one of our sideline calls or sideline end zone just to have everybody back. It's a miscommunication on the sidelines. When I look back at it, that's the one play that haunt me, if you would say, and I wish I'd have just went and called timeout. But at play, you taught that the quarterback and the coaches called timeout. So, but looking back at it, I wish I'd have called timeout just to be like, all right, y'all sure, y'all sure about that type of situation. But I guess their thinking was my guess is they they may have thought we had that they had another timeout because it was like a miscommunication before that. They called timeout. They put their punt team
on the fourth down, right?
Yeah, and then they put they took that punt team back off, and they came in, and the call came in right before, like it was like right before the snap, not too far after the snap.
Yeah.
And if you can see, I was about to go run back, so I just went to go try to double the slot because I couldn't get all the way back. We told everybody end zone, but it just, I don't know. That's just one of them plays.
It ain't get around.
A lot of moving parts. Like, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's when you just went back.
For sure. You always look at them games, and it's a handful of plays. I know some drop. I think even before that, it was a drop pick y'all could have had, which I feel like always come back and bite you in the ass.
Was that young boy Will
Redmond?
Yeah.
He
alligator on. That was my young boy, man. We was in San Fran together.
Sometimes those be the toughest ones to catch.
Toughest ones, yeah.
For real, man.
Yeah, those plays, it do seem like when you miss that opportunity in a 2-minute drill, stuff like that,
it come back.
It score. It's like
90%.
Yeah, every single time.
It happened in that Patriots Giants Super Bowl. I mean, it happened all the time, but you live and you learn, man. You live and you learn.
Always.
But we want to go back to your story, man. All the way back, man. Like, how did you even find football? As your love. Was it other sports you played as a young kid? How did you find football?
Man, I grew up with football. I have a pretty athletic family. None really, made it to this level for various reasons. But growing up, I just grew up around football. My father first got me in football when I was young, just watching my cousins play, and I wanted to go out and play rec football. So started out quarterback playing rec football. And that's who I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to be Michael Vick. And growing up, that was my guy. I was Mike Vick. And then on defense, I was a middle linebacker. So that's what, and I'm from Baltimore. So it was all about Ray Lewis and, Ed Reed, stuff like that. So, growing up in Baltimore, that's what it was. It was football. I played basketball at AAU a little bit. I tried 2 years of baseball. But the thing is, I tried it when I was like 8 and 9. And it was so boring to me. I was done with it.
Yeah, and out there in the outfield.
Yeah, I could do it though. I could do the outfield part. I couldn't hit the ball at 8.
Okay.
I used to try to get walk, and I used to steal every base. That was my goal. When I got up there, you get 9, they're not throwing the ball too hard, so you can take a pitch and just go steal.
Once you're on base, you good.
And good money.
Base, I'm scoring average 100% rate. So, but yeah, just grew up playing, just playing sports all my life, and got up to high school. wasn't a high recruit coming out of high school. I got my first offer my senior year. Going into my senior year, I had like a UConn. I did have UConn, and I committed to UConn when SO was there.
Oh man! And then he left.
It was a story. Committed to UConn. They told me that if I did, I thought, I didn't know as much about it. Committed to UConn. It was like, commit here, you lose your scholarship if you don't commit. Committed there. As I left, I opened up my recruitment, and like the Sunday before signing day, I got an offer from Penn State because they was with Donovan Smith, the left tackle for the Bucks.
Tampa, right? Yep.
Yeah. So Coach Larry Johnson, who was at the Buccaneers. I'm at the Ohio State now, D-line coach.
Mm-hmm.
He was at Donovan's house, and then Donovan like, hey, Amos opened up his recruitment and pulled my highlight tape up, and then he called me right there, and I took a visit up there, and I signed right before signing day.
The Sunday before signing day.
Yep, that's
crazy.
So what it was like the Wednesday he went there, then I went up there that weekend, and then Sunday before signing day, that's when I committed to Penn State.
That's wild.
Facts. That is wild. I was about to say,
wild.
Was Billy O there when you got there? Bill O'Brien?
My first year was 2011, so that's when the scandal hit, and that's when. So I got there right in the middle of the storm with Joe Pa was there, and then Joe Pa left in 2012. That's when O'Brien came. He came right after Joe. Joe got fired or resigned or whatever you call it.
Okay.
So you was so you played corner out there.
Yep, I played corner. Really, my first 3 years, and in my senior year, I played mostly nickel though. So it was just like my first year really playing safety full time was my rookie year in Chicago.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So that's why you like to get down a cover, because that's what you've been doing, and that's what you did your whole college career. Why you think they did you know they?
You froze a little bit.
Hold on. I think it looked like he froze a little bit, but I think he was asking, did you know they was gonna move you to safety when they drafted you? Like, was that in the plan? You froze a little bit. Okay, you back, AB.
Oh, well, all right.
What was your question?
I kind of knew going into the draft it was like safety corner, and when I went to the Senior Bowl, they had me doing a lot of safety stuff. So it was, it was the writing on the wall, and I've always been heavier. So, my sophomore year at corner, I was about 213, 210, 213, and
dang.
Yeah, playing corner. It's boundary corner, just in that pressing. But I pretty much figured I was going to be moving to safety. But what I didn't realize is what it is to learn how to play safety from corner, just as far as angles and pursuit to the ball, how to fit. It's easy to hit from corner coming outside in, in cover two, stuff like that. But then when you got to come down and you're making more open field tackles. So that was something I focused on early on in Chicago, is learning that, learning like landmarks, things like that, and playing cover two. But yeah, I just learning more and more every year. But yeah, it's but it's always been in the back of my mind. I want to do more. I like playing down nickel. I like moving around, like just being in one spot, because like I said, you get them games where you just end up in the post all game or end up in the half all game and be out the game. But.
And throughout those transitions and those different positions, like who was kind of like that coach or coaches, helped you the most? 'Cause I know it's tough, doing all those different things and being good at them. So who was one of them coaches?
The one that taught me the most about football, as far as just straight football, that I look back today and a lot of my, knowledge of offenses and stuff like that, what they like to do, I got that from Ed Donatel.
My guy Ed. Yeah, I had Ed.
Yeah. So, just a lot about, at the time, some of the stuff was a little annoying that he was doing because, Ed, his personality and stuff.
Yeah.
We had to do the worksheets and the.
I hated that shit, boy.
What's this called? This called dragging. This called what's name? But I got good at them to the point where everything was 100. I knew, every route concept, things like that, and stuff that's so ingrained in me today that some of the stuff I had to forget when I got to Green Bay, because stuff was blurring together sometimes because they called this one thing. They called this halo and this halo, and they both the same. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get it out of my head because I was just so. It came natural at a point. So yeah, he taught me a lot that some stuff that I'm teaching the young guys today. The stuff that he taught me. I think a lot of growth with Coach Gray, this year, DB coach. He came from the Vikings with, he coached Harrison Smith and them guys for, a few years. And, he was a all-pro, Pro Bowl safety back in his day too. So it was, he taught me a lot about football and big on fundamentals. He more stressed on, landmarks, route concepts, when I can jump things, when I can't, stuff like that. Just a wise coach it's taught me a lot. I take a little bit. I try to take a little bit from everybody, really.
Yeah.
That's definitely the thing to do. Take a little bit of something from everybody, man, and just make it your own. Like you said with Ed Donatel, man, when I went to San Fran my first year, he was like, yeah, man, we do these tests where, you gotta fill in this, I'm like, man, what? Like,
what year? I was about to say, what year was that? Year 8?
Year 9? Year 9. I'm like, I'm good on all this, bro. Like, now we good. But like you said, it definitely helps because now to this day, I still have those sheets where I I'll go in my office and I'll just open up a notebook and just go through them like, damn, I forgot we called that this or whatever the case may be. So it's definitely a helpful tool.
Yeah, for sure.
And then at Penn State, at what point did you, start playing a lot, start making a bunch of plays where you felt like, all right, I'm here. I see the NFL in my future. When did that start happening?
So being from Baltimore, we didn't really see too many people come out of Baltimore and make noise. We had the Fullers. And we had Tavon Austin, who came out before us. And then, so when I got to college, when I got there my freshman year, I went in the mindset that people was just like, people was super nice. Like college was like, a big step up. But when I got there and I started doing one-on-ones and I started killing in one-on-ones, couldn't tell me nothing at that point. Freshman, I'll tell you, when I came as a freshman, I was like, why I'm not, why I'm not, I should be starting day one. Like,
off the rip.
Wasn't better than me. And then, so we was doing with that, and I didn't redshirt, so I was up. I started at kick return my first couple of games, and I was like the third corner, and I got there. My first pick was my first game against Indiana State, but then so I was like this cake, but the next game was against Bama, and that was Bama when they had they had Trent.
It don't matter which Bama.
Every year. This was the best Bama's, I feel like. That was 2011 when they.
That's when they beat Notre Dame.
I think it's the one they beat LSU.
LSU, okay.
That's when they beat LSU in the Natty, and they had Trent, they had Eddie Lacy. On defense, they had Upshaw, Hightower, all those guys. And my first kick return, I got smacked running through that because I'm running through that, no fear, running, hitting it on kickoff and on kick return, and Bama big on special teams. They got their starters out there on kickoff.
Yeah,
and I just remember getting hit and getting up. And I was like, this was real college football is really.
Yeah, it's a little different out here.
That was my welcome to the league, and then like 3 or 4 games after that, that's when I got my first start at Penn State, at corner against Iowa.
As a freshman,
my freshman year, yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, my second season, then I started Darnell.
Okay, shit.
Yeah.
That's solid right there. Shit.
Hell yeah.
Damn near 4-year starter. So shoot, let's just talk about, like you said, you get there your freshman year. You start in your freshman year. You obviously rock out sophomore, junior, senior year. So how was that transition as far as like the draft process? Like, what were you hearing? Obviously you kind of touched on it before where, you kind of had the inclination that, they were going to move you to safety, but how was that whole process for you?
I had a lot of humbling experiences throughout that time. Like I told you, I came in a little bit, cocky into college, my first couple years, and then I was humbled into my, next 2 years. We didn't have scholarships. I had a rocky junior year. I had a better senior year moving around. Got hurt. My shoulder was messed up a little bit. But going into the draft, again, this is where, I thought I'm being told I'm going second round at the latest. I'm going second round. Maybe second, third at the latest. Had a pretty good combine, but the thing was my shoulder was messed up. They saw the little shoulder scan that came up. Whereas they thought I was going to get surgery, but I didn't get surgery. I held that surgery off until, after my rookie year. They thought I was going to have to get it before then. But yeah, just through the process, it was just, a humbling experience. I feel like I was, I feel I was underrated. But when I look at my film from my senior year, it wasn't, to where my potential was. So I'm watching my film, and I wasn't making up plays that, other guys were making. So looking back on it, I can't be as mad. Everything happened the way it went. I didn't get drafted to the 5th round. I actually had a shirt and tie on draft, on because I thought I was going second, third round.
Yeah.
My name called. That's a humbling experience when you got your family there and the name just keep coming by, grandma right there, and your name don't get called, and everybody just telling you it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be all right.
What happened? And you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
None of that.
You just
don't want to take no calls from nobody.
I'm looking at people getting drafted. And I remember people that's getting drafted before me. I'm just watching people get drafted.
You ain't gonna never forget. You ain't gonna never forget them names.
Facts.
You see corners, safeties, just anybody. I'm getting mad at linebackers getting drafted before me. I'm getting, what I'm saying? Just watching people go by. It's just like, man. Then I had to wait until the next day. I came back. I got drafted. I had to, pretend like I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm still mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I just got drafted into the NFL. But it was just like, at the same time, it's like, man, I love, what I'm saying? I went all the way to the 5th round when they called, and, my mother still started crying. That really, brought me back to like, I be appreciative is that like my mother was super happy. People were still super happy when in my insides, I'm like, man, all these people got drafted in front of me. But that's just a competitive nature. You going to be like that.
No, for sure.
That was a tough process. So, but I did carry that with me going into Chicago, and they told me toughness was a reason that I slipped down. Toughness in my shoulder, and they didn't know whether I was gonna be corner safety. So when they didn't know how I was gonna make the adjustment to safety and being able to fill and tackle and stuff like that. So as soon as I got to Chicago, like my first 2 years, you watch my film, my first 2 years, I'm just trying to hit everything. So like that's what
and it's with the banged up shoulder.
Yep. And I'm running. I messed up my shoulder more, and I was just trying to run through everybody. I was trying to hit everybody. Until the point where it was he can cover but he can't tackle. Then it changed after my second year. He can tackle but he can't cover. So it's
always gonna be something.
Yeah, so always, and all of this stuff is just humble me. Like, all right, keep working. Just every year I'm trying to find some way to improve my game. Now it's I gotta figure out a way to get the ball more. Just get more. I gotta get more takeaways. That's something that I'm challenging myself with next year. Just get more takeaways.
Yeah, hey man. Yeah, so it's all like you said. It's all you was definitely upset because you didn't go where you wanted to go, but still a blessing. Get that call. I think they traded B. Marshall for the pick that they actually picked you with. That's how that league shit goes. But you get there, you get to Chicago. Obviously playing a new position. Who was one of those guys in the locker room kind of took you under the wing and helped you with that transition?
In Chicago, well, when I first got there, Antrell Rowe was there, and Trail funny, boy. He
I know Trail.
Trail funny, man. Trail and the meetings, he just showed me like, just as far as, like just little stuff like what to worry about, what not to worry about. As far as film, when we in there watching film, he in there having full conversations with the coach and stuff like that. And coming from college, you don't get that because once you're in the NFL, you basically on the same level as your coach. When you got a certain amount of games, your coach can have conversations and stuff like that about stuff and be like, well, we ain't doing that because that's touchdown. If I gotta do that, then they score. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. From college, you don't do that with your coach. Then you basically just listen and let them tell you what you running and stuff like that. And I just saw that interactions and how that worked. That helped me. Really, the best vet that I ever had though was when I got to Green Bay with Tramon Williams. Like I really took his off the field technique and like his routine, just his how he take care of his body. Like it's a reason why
for a minute
for so long with like what I'm saying, like he still he still looked the part, like he's still running, he's still jumping. It doesn't look like he's lost. You can't really tell by just by the eye that he's lost a set.
Class of 06, man.
Yeah,
he 06 too?
Yeah, he 06. I was talking. It was crazy. I was texting T. Will yesterday. We was texting. But nah, T. Will, man, he a hell of a pro, man. Hell of a pro.
But yeah, like throughout the years, I just took a lot from everybody. Just there's just a lot of just vets that came through. I wish that I played with Trell a little bit longer. I just had him that rookie year, then he got hurt halfway through the year, and then the second year he was gone, and basically I became the vet in the room at year 2. Basically, so it's like
that's tough.
I didn't really have people to to really to lean on that way and to teach me because I'm still learning. I'm still learning the safety position myself. So it was I struggled a little bit with that too.
For sure. That's a tough spot to be in.
A real tough spot. What do you feel as though like your what years you feel as though your game jumped? You know what I mean? I think for me it was between my rookie and my second year. You know what I mean? But I still had bets in the room, so I still was a young player where I really didn't have to worry about a whole bunch. I just needed to know my job and I can go out there and play. What year was it for you where you was like, okay, I'm comfortable now? Like, you know what I mean? Even though your second year you was in that leadership role, you say you wish you would have had some older cats in there. Like, what was that year? When did that happen for you?
I would say, all right, so year 3, I was benched early in the year. So I didn't start the first 3 games. And that was my year that when I came back, I had a great offseason before that year. I actually was at Bommarito. I think I seen you. You was down at Bommarito that year.
Yeah.
My year 3. You was down at Bommarito up in, I think it's the one in Davie.
Down in Davie, yep.
Yep. And
probably with Adam.
Yeah, I had a pretty good offseason that year. And coming in, I thought, I read the writing on the wall. They had brought Eddie Jackson in and they signed Demps. They signed Demps and they brought them in, and it just seemed in camp, because I had a great camp, but I always seen that I was like, they about to try to sit me. And so when it happened, I was mad, and I was angry, and I was going about it the wrong way. I wasn't showing it. I was still going out hard in practice, but I was looking at it as man, what's going on. But at the point where I stopped around the second game of the season, I stopped doing that, and I started looking at me. I'm like, all right, I gave them a reason to do that. I didn't have a great year too. I didn't have the stats, and we're losing. So of course they're gonna try to find replacements because
Yeah.
we not that good, and not
Yeah.
and my pops would tell me, he's like, you gotta leave without a doubt. And even Q Demps, he would tell me, he was like, look, you gonna give it another shot, and when you do get a shot, you can't let them, you can't make it close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next time you get a shot. And the crazy thing is, he got hurt about after the third game. We was playing the Steelers. And after that, I feel like, I took that in practice and in the game. So I was practicing. That's when I started practicing like I would in a game. I was doing sprints. I was just locked in, you know what I'm saying? And then from that point, I found my formula as far as practice and preparation, and the game. So when I just started, I practiced at everything. I practiced with tackle. I practiced covering. I knew the defense better than anybody. So me and Ed I could go up there and coach with Ed with the defense at a point in time. So it was like, I knew it so well that it didn't matter. So even on the next year when they, it felt like they was trying to do something, it wasn't even close. So they couldn't, if they was done with me, they couldn't do nothing about, me playing, because they would look crazy for doing it.
Yeah.
That was that's when my game really took a step, and I've taken that mentality every year since then.
Yeah, that's big, man. Because everybody deal with some type of setback in their career, whether it's early, late. And a lot of people, let it get to them, starts to question their confidence. As a football player, as an athlete, as anything you do on a high level, whenever you start questioning yourself, that's when you really start taking that step back. So for you to just dig in harder, study harder, get your body right, and take that same mindset going forward, man. I hope a lot of people that's listening learn from that, man, because that's big. Everybody gonna go through their challenges in the league, man. It's a business, so when you see that writing on the wall and they start trying to move certain ways, you just got to double down, bet on yourself.
Yeah, early and often.
Fact.
Early and often, shit. See, I want to ask you about the transition from Chicago to Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like how was that, being that y'all, in the same division, rivals?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how was that? Obviously, like D-Bud just said, it's a business. So at the end of the day, as a player, it's like, well, shit, it's a good fit, it's a good team. But like when you get to Green Bay or when you was leaving Chicago, was it any type of animosity, or was you hesitant?
Oh no, it wasn't hesitant when you see the offer. When you see that, when it comes to free agency, man, it's especially money. See that?
Hold on, you got you freezing.
I'm freezing.
Just hold on, just for like 30 seconds. Well, I think you might be good now.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah. All right. So, what I was saying, when
Tell me to come to free agency.
That free agency.
Yeah. When you get the free agency, it's like you looking at you don't really know. I don't really know who want me, who's going to offer anything like that. But as soon as free agency hit, it was like a minute after I'm getting a call, and I'm getting an offer, and Green Bay came out first with a strong offer. I had a number in my head, and they went further than that. So it was like look, you can wait all day, but it's other safeties right there, and it's a fast business when it comes to that. So it's like, all right, I'm going to Green Bay.
Try to put that pressure on you.
Oh, for sure, and they put it was good pressure though. You know what I'm saying?
Good pressure. That pressure. Number right.
Yeah.
It's good pressure, and then I see it as I'm young, so me trying to squeeze out every dollar. I feel like I'm young, and then my next contract I can still if I'm being particular about the exact dollars amounts and stuff like that. I can just play my way into a new contract, but when you get that, you get the backlash. You get the backlash mostly from the fans. and things like that. I'm getting DMs like, how can you do this, trader? And
Yeah.
but the thing is, I was like, just a minute ago, y'all didn't even want me here. Y'all said y'all was trying to downplay me because they like I shouldn't be extended and stuff like that. So like now I'm a trader and all types of N words and everything in the inbox. And I'm like, man,
Get
that's
ugly.
crazy. But no, it was. I missed some of the guys, like some of the guys that I was with over the 4 years and stuff like that. That's what that was the it wasn't too hard, but that was the hardest part of the transition. It wasn't really. I didn't really feel bad about the city of Chicago or Pace or the coaches or anything like that, because I was in that mind frame. It was like they didn't want me anyway, or they didn't feel as though I deserve. I feel as though I deserve, and then it made it even easier because the man's second to Pace, he came out in a video or something like that afterwards, and it was like, yeah, we had so and so better than him anyway, so we got a good deal by letting him go and stuff that they didn't have to say. You didn't have to mention my name or anything like that. So yeah, every time we played them, it felt good when we won, and that was that. They actually made it a lot. They made the transition way easier. If they was just quiet.
Yep. Now, for people that don't know, like when you going in that free agency, obviously the money is a big thing, probably the most important. But after that, obviously, you got A-Rod over there in Green Bay. And then you got to look at, that weather. So I'm coming from Chicago, but I'm going to be in Green Bay. I'm going to be living in Green Bay. So what's the other things that go into, making those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, especially quarterback. I mean, I think a lot of people, they choose a place like Green Bay for, you got the arguably the best quarterback in the world on your team. You can argue that each and every year, regardless of whether you think he's the supreme GOAT. He's in that argument for sure. So that brings a lot of people, because when you have a quarterback, you have a chance. You know what I'm saying? At least playoffs, at least things like that. You have that opportunity. And then when I got here, it's not much to do, but it's like a college town. I went to Penn State. It reminds me just like Penn State. It's cold. The weather is like the Chronicles of Narnia. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'll be sunny and snowing, and at the same time, things like that. So the weather is cold, but it's on game day, man. It's like a college atmosphere. You don't get that in the NFL as much. As far as the big crowds and that college atmosphere and the tailgating all the way down the street, and like that's how it is here. It go from the smallest city in the world to one of the biggest city in the world on game day. So,
on game day,
the stadium. It's loud, a lot of history, loud, energetic. It's just when you play a Sunday night football game here in that crowd, you feel like you in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is it.
Nah, it's playing Lambeau, man. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. We got a question from Trill Quamex. What's your how do you prepare for games? But like, do you have any rituals?
Rituals, I don't call it rituals. I've created habits over the years.
Habits.
So I try to have great habits. As like I told you earlier, I stole a lot of Tremon's habits. Like during the week, I do massages. I get 2 massages a week. I do like stretch yoga, not the full yoga, but like the stretching part of it. I try to get that in. Just taking care of my body throughout the week. As far as film, I try to stay up. Like, so say if we're doing first and second down on Wednesday, I study that the night before. So when I'm going in, I'm prepared for the day, stuff like that. And I study a little bit each week, so I don't have to binge on Friday and Saturday with all the film. I already got them down packed by then. And I could just write down, a couple tips that I got from that game, from that team, from the players that, if I got a particular matchup and stuff like that, I can work on that. later in the week.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Nah, but I ain't gonna front that yoga because I didn't really tap into the yoga until probably like it was definitely the second half of my career. But I feel as though like that like helped my game. You know what I'm saying? Just as far as the flexibility, just me recovering faster, just limiting my soreness and everything. So that yoga, man, that shit did wonders for me.
Yeah, this year I see the big difference. This is the first year that I consistently did yoga every week. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, man, and this is the best I felt at the end of the year. Like as far as like, you know, my muscles. I mean, you're gonna be sore. It's a long
Yeah,
season.
it's a
You're gonna
long
be sore,
season, man.
but it's different with my, you know, my legs and just even just waking up in the morning that I don't feel as stiff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? As before, I feel like it helped a lot.
nah, for sure. Um, got another question for you. Um, and you ain't really gotta go in the detail, but playing alongside Eddie Jackson and Darnell Savage, like similarities, differences. You know what I mean?
Um, no, both of them are good players. Both of them are fast players in the back end, and you know, it's good playing. You know, playing with both. Um, you know, I've played with both of them in their first and second years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's a big, you know, similarity. You know, it's a lot of similarities that go into that. As in, you know, I've tried to, you know, teach them as much, you know, just with playing with them and teaching them everything I know. You know, to help them get better. As long as learning from them, because both of them, you know, came in real smart. That's why I say that they're very similar as far as their knowledge of the game. Like Eddie coming from Alabama, learned
Yeah.
that, you
Mm-hmm.
know, the saving, and he just knew safety position coming in. He knew, you know, what to look for, landmark, different things like that. And as far as Savage, as soon as he came in, he picked up the playbook quick. Like he knew it, you know, knew it right away. So both of them, their knowledge of the game, you know, coming in was very high.
Well,
That's what's up. I got a question for you. So, playing against A Rod twice a year, you know, in Chicago, obviously being very familiar, then going to be his teammate, like playing against him, I guess kind of off the field, like how was he when you got to Green Bay as comparison to what you thought he was going to be? And not just on the field as a quarterback. Obviously, you knew who he was. You studied, you played against him. But as far as the teammate, as far as the leader, as far as, you know, all the other things that matter.
Um, yeah, I always knew like he was my pick for the best, you know, the best all time. I would, you know, that was my pick when I played against him because it was just certain things I had never seen before that
mm-hmm.
he was
Mm-hmm.
doing as far as like throwing the ball. You know, a lot of the stuff you see Pat Mahomes doing now,
Agreed.
you know, what he was doing, that's what Aaron always been doing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that. You know, they look, you know, it's crazy to me how they look. They look, you know, very similar. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
how talented their arms are. You know, even as far as running, like their mobility, as far as, you know, being able to extend and stuff like that, you know, similar as well. But you know, playing against them, you hear, you know, in the media, you had what's his name? Greg Jennings came out, said something about his attitude or something like that, and then
Mm-hmm.
you hear a lot of those things. You know, with the media, they said about him and his family and things like that. So I didn't really know what to believe until I
Yeah.
met him. But when I got there, he was one of the first people to greet me, welcome to the team. He really a personable person. You know, maybe people viewpoint was about him younger in the league. Maybe he was a little different, but all I've
Yeah.
seen is him be you know, he a great teammate. Um, a lot of stuff, he's allowed to be rumors about him because he's a person that he genuinely don't care. Like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? As far as like they come out with a new story about him, he genuinely don't care. He like whatever,
Mm-hmm.
think what you want to think, and
Mm-hmm.
he gonna let you think what you want to think. He gonna play with you. He a real, you know, thoughtful person as far as like what he do and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that that'll make him laugh. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So but he knows a lot. He's a very thoughtful person. He talks a lot about, you know, different stuff. basketball, just like everybody else. He just somebody else, somebody else in the locker room. He just happened to be, Aaron Rodgers, and that's what I learned about him. He is a great teammate and leader. He definitely looks and plays a part, within the locker room.
Yeah, for sure. I know he won a lot more fans over. Not that he needed them, but everybody knew who he was on the field. But off the field, I think this year, coming on Pat McAfee show every week and just kind of showing his real personality. I even see people hey, I'm a Bears fan. I always hated Aaron Rodgers, but I'm a fan of him now just because, just really hearing him open up and talk. So yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. But gotta ask you about the Super Bowl before you let you go, man. Obviously you got Tampa and Kansas City down there. Who you think will pull it out?
Man, I don't know. They're gonna have to get after the Chiefs. Get after Pat Mahomes, make it hard on them. And I know last time Tyreek Hill went crazy on them.
Went nuts.
Man, and it looked like that man get faster every week. I don't know,
Bruh.
I don't know what's going on, but that man.
He doing yoga too.
Yeah, I was saying that yesterday. Because I saw Scotty Miller say he think he faster. He can get Tyreek. Look, man, I feel like
hell no.
No, I feel like the fastest player in the league, and then I think Tyreek Hill is a lot faster than the next fastest player. Like just as far as just seeing that speed in the game. You know what I'm saying? You can see it on TV, but when you on the field, and because he got the combination of quickness and speed, so I think
I never seen that combo like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like that quick, that fast.
Come to him, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna come down to whether they can contain him, because let somebody else try to beat you, because he can wreck it early. With just with his speed and explosiveness. I don't think he's the best receiver in the league.
Well, you got 17 over there in Green Bay. And you froze on us. Is y'all up in there in that DMV, man? y'all got that Teddy Riley up there.
Right. Your shit been froze the whole time on my end, bro.
Stop lying, bro.
Now I text you. You got the same little ugly stare the whole hour we've been on here.
Yeah, right. How you ain't tell me, bro?
Bro, I text you, bro.
How long? I'm still froze. That might be your Wi-Fi, man. Hey, y'all, I'm frozen. I'm frozen, man. I'm going to move him, add him back. Oh, he must have lagged out.
Yeah, lagged
but
out.
Yeah, he said he wasn't the best. I'm still frozen right now?
Bro, I can hear you, bro, but
I think you making shit up, bro.
I just sent you a picture, deep butt.
Yo, my joint ain't even on the Wi-Fi. That's crazy.
Nah, man, but
yeah, man, you know who you got yet?
Nah, I don't, man. People been hitting me up. I was like, man, I had KC winning it all, but just watching Tom threw 3 picks and they still won the game.
3 in the second half, bro.
3 in the second, and you know what I'm saying? So that says a lot. You got Fisher not playing with the Chiefs, so the way JPP and Shaquille Barrett was coming off the edge, you got to take account for that. You got to take account for Tampa Bay. They don't have to travel. They at home. They're in their they got their usual routine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot that you kind of have to think about. But again, shit, you got Pat Mahomes, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Kelsey, Andy Reid, Eric B.
What about the fact that they already been there before too? Last year, pretty much is the same team. Obviously, you went to 2 Super Bowls. So how was it that second time around, kind of already knowing what that week was gonna bring?
Shit is different. I mean, because you got to think about, we went the second time, but we still had new players. You still had guys. JP was young. We had Jacob Lacey was young. So guys, it was still new to some guys. Where obviously I was able to tell them this, that, and the third, but you still got to experience it. And I was listening to Patrick Mahomes this morning, and I think it was something that was really, really interesting. I think he was right that, you don't have the media frenzy down there, like media. Well, I think it was like Wednesday when you do the big media day and things of that nature. So you can just really focus on your game plan and getting ready for Sunday. So, but I think it is, you have to take into consideration that, they have been there already. And like you said, they got mostly everybody back from their mob. So I think either way, man, it's gonna be a good game. I just don't know who I'm gonna take
Definitely
right now.
gonna be. It's definitely gonna be a good one. It's hard to bet against some Chiefs, boy.
Right. It's hard to bet against
Brady again.
too.
Yeah, Jeez. It is. But like you said, 3 picks. I felt like Packers had some opportunities there. I don't know. That's why it's the Super Bowl, I guess, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna see though.
We are gonna see. Hold on, real quick. Let me see. That boy just texted. That boy said, "Man, I don't know what happened." We got internet.
Yeah, man. If my shit was tripping, it must have been yours. It must have been some of yours.
But I'm good. Hey, hold on. Tell these people, tell them about the ski trip, man.
Oh man, the ski trip was incredible, man. I'm about to post a video as soon as we get off here. I end up going down to Blue.
Okay.
That was the toughest one I went down. Only 3 days on the slope. So I ended up going down to Blue. So I definitely be back out there. It was dope. It was real dope. You got some experience on the slopes, don't you?
Yeah. I had went to so we got Asian back in, man. He got that Teddy Riley internet. Right. Nah, like I said, I went on a ski trip a few years back. Went to Vermont, man. I think my first day I stayed, I kept it cool. And my second day, man, I was just frustrated. I don't know if it was my instructor. Instructor acted like he didn't want to be there. I'm like, damn, my dude, like you chose this job. Like,
yeah.
So but then the people I went with, they were skiers like how Vontae and Meg and all them are, and they was trying to teach me, but I think at that time, man, I just wasn't patient enough with it. So I was like, man, man.
It's fun though. It's fun, man. Nah, it ain't that hard either. It ain't that hard to pick up. Shit, Adrian, you ever hit the slopes, man?
No, man. I went to the Poconos one time, and one of my cousins tried to convince me to try to snowboard, and I went down a small hill. Man, I felt so hard. Man, I took that snowboard off.
I'm out of here.
I watched it. I ain't doing it.
Man. Wait till you retire, man. Wait till you retire. Trust me. But it's fun.
That ain't for me in the cold and all. Like, you know what I'm saying, on the ski. Maybe one day I try that. I get something like that.
Yeah, man. What you got planned for the offseason though, man? What you got going on? Off the field.
Man, take a break right now, and then I'm trying to get I've been in the works with like doing stuff with my nonprofit and trying to get a little facility because I work with a lot with the youth and stuff like that. So I've been trying to get a building. I've been working on that for a few years. So I'm gonna get into that. I got the clothing line with Brandon Bespoke and my that it's like a suit line, and then with
what's the name of the suit line?
Brandon Bespoke.
Okay.
Brandon Bespoke.
Brandon Bespoke. Yeah, it's my guy from he's from Baltimore. He he had started the business, and I joined in with him, and we just collabed, and we're trying to tap into that market with the suits and the brand and everything like that.
I think I don't know if I might have talked to him one time before too.
Brandon Bespoke, yeah, his name Nehemiah. But yeah, we're doing that with that as long as with my AA brand. Just things to tap into the stuff outside of the
got
to thing.
Got to do that.
And stuff to keep me busy. Man, that's one thing I can't do. I can't just sit down. So I gotta be up and moving. especially, even in the off season when you're working out, that's only a small part of your day.
Yeah,
You
a
got
few hours of your day.
you got a whole rest of the day. You can't just be, sitting around doing nothing. But I got a boy too. I got two sons, so 2 and 1 years old. So, they keep me occupied as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you speak about your foundation, man. Definitely shout out to you about that, man. Giving back to your community and just paying it forward and being that leader. We had a question, man, from Jimmy Dean, and I know it's I'm from VA and just know some people from there. Like what you being from B-More, like what do you think the city needs, man, to cut down on the murders, because the numbers is high every year.
Yeah. When you think about these major cities, I know a lot of people focus on because of the certain numbers with like Baltimore, Chicago, different cities like that. But whenever you got a bunch of people with limited resources in the same small area,
You get the same results.
Violence. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have that, and it's only gonna get better when we change the system and with getting them better resources. Just I feel like it starts with the kids. The kids don't have parents at home because the parents are in jail. They don't have fathers. Then you go in their schools and their textbooks not even what I'm saying. They half torn.
Can't even take them home.
You can't, what I'm saying? And then when you go home, they don't got their parents to help them with their stuff. And then they're shutting down a lot of after school programs that, even just when I was in school that we had, what I'm saying? You don't have no after school programs and things for these kids to do. They're just walking on by their own. A lot of these kids are learning by their own. So that's what, I like to do a lot of stuff with like mentorship and talking to kids at schools and just kids that think that other things are possible. A lot of kids say that's not going to be for me. They're not being told that, they can do these things. They're just being disciplined, what I'm saying, in a certain way. What I'm saying? You get in trouble type thing. They're not giving them, other options. What I'm saying? Other things to do. Like what I can't do this. Well, can you tell me how to do this? If I want these clothes, how else I'm gonna get this? What I'm saying? Can you tell me another way to do this? What I'm saying? Like, my mother can't pay for it. I can't. What I'm saying? So I think when it comes to that stuff, it's just about the school. And when you look at it, you can just tell that people don't care about them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the staff just there just to be staff. They check. And the schools don't provide them with anything. So it's like they it can get better with. I guess that's the all-in situation. Giving these kids more resources that will help a lot of the things. Teaching them, catching them before they grow up into, well, this is the only way I can get my bread.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. Resources, man. You give anybody, limited resources, like you said it perfectly. A lot of people with limited resources, you're gonna get the same results, and that's not only with them. That's with anybody, everybody. You put 10 people in the room and 2 hamburgers for a week. You're gonna turn into a completely different person. So it happens in that. So a lot of people look at the results of what happened and not really why it's happening. So I think get back to the kids, like you said. It's great that you're being a mentor, not only telling them but showing them what it looked like. And for us, we all think, like, not all of us, but a lot of us think, hey, sports, entertainment, rap, and it's like you got to show them something else. They got to see it to achieve that type of stuff. So it's on us to be the change, really. Whether you in those communities, come from those communities or not, we all play a part in in fixing those problems.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Well, sure, brother, man. We ain't gonna hold you, man. Man, we appreciate you for stopping by on the show, man. On the pod. Like I said, man, I love your game, man. Love the way you play the game, way you approach the game. So I'm wishing you the best, man. Staying healthy, good health, and enjoy your off season, brother.
Same here,
appreciate y'all, man. I love what y'all doing with this show too, man. Bringing that knowledge and experience. It's always good to hear somebody that done did it before. You know what I'm saying? You see both of y'all play in the league for a while and proving people in the league. So it's always good to hear takes from guys like y'all.
Man, appreciate it.
You, bro.
For sure.
Keep balling, bro.
I'll be safe.
Yeah.
There you have it. Adrian Amos, one of the best young safeties in the league, man. Love watching him play. We're balling that NFC Championship too, man. Tough. Obviously, they took the L, but great season, great career so far. I wish him nothing but success going forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, man. Y'all have a good weekend. As always, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in, tuning in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The Man to Man Pod. We here. We'll see y'all again on Monday live.
Yes, sir.
We out.
Boop, 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 boop.